Hi, I'm Scott, CEO of GitButler. Today we're going to be talking about integrating Cursor and GitButler. So if you use Cursor in the last release in 1.7, they released beta hooks for lifecycle integration. So what GitButler can do now is you can tell Cursor when you hit these points in your lifecycle of doing sort of agentic AI work in Cursor, use GitButler to do the version control parts. So automatically create commit messages, automatically create commits after every task is completed, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to show you how to set that up and how to get it going so that you can use GitButler as your version control tool for Cursor automatically. Okay, so let's say that this is our Cursor window. In the newest version, you can say initialize user level hooks in this sort of developer tool. And what it's going to do is it's going to write to your users.cursor.hooks.json directory. So it's going to put in this sort of generic thing that has this example before prompt submit. There's a whole bunch of different sort of lifestyle hooks that you can put in. What we're going to do is replace it with these GitButler ones. So the ones that we want to do is the GitButler CLI cursor after edit in the after file edit and the stop hook in the stop. I have -- nightly in here only for the nightly that I'm testing this on, but you'll do it without this. And you can read more about that in the GitButler docs. So now once I have that, I'm going to ask Cursor to start doing some work for me in some tasks. So let's say that I'm trying to add some admin pages. So we can see as it's running, it has created a new branch. We can see that it sort of has this session attached to it that we're kind of watching what it does. And as it's editing files, it's automatically assigning those files that Cursor is editing. We can see them coming in here to that lane, to the new branch that's created for this task. And now as soon as it's done, you can see it create a new commit, rename the commit, and then actually create a new branch name if it's one of the default branch names. And we can actually go into this commit and see that it also created a commit message for us and added all of our files to that. So now let's keep working on this commit. Let's say that I found something in it. Let's see. Okay, so let's say that I want to keep working on this by saying, you know what, this limit shouldn't be 50, this limit should be 20. So let's ask Cursor to fix that for us. And you can see it did this fairly quickly, right? So it creates a new commit with a sort of default message, and then it rewrites it with AI to be a little bit better. So now we have our change that we just asked it to do. So every time that it finishes a task, it's going to create a new commit. So let's just be pedantic here. This is maybe not the best way to edit files, but you know. And you can see it uses the prompt first, and then it rewrites it with AI. So now what we have is we have sort of this thing that added this feature. We have a sort of small fix-up commit here, and then we have a larger one. Now I can do a new task. I actually don't have a README in here, so let's have Cursor write this up for me. And we can see that since I started a new task, it created a new branch, and it wrote that into that new branch, and it names the branch, and it does its own commit message. So when I create a new task, it'll create a new branch, and it'll try to put the changes into that branch so that I can open them as separate pull requests, for example. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is take a look at this branch. This is kind of a silly set of commits, right? We create something, we change it to 20, then we change it to 30. Really what we want is one commit that just has it be 30. So what I can do is I can go ahead and squash these together by dragging and dropping them sort of all together. Or if I go back, I could also do a squash all commits here and just create sort of one commit out of that. Now it'll just put all of the commit messages together, so we probably don't want that. So we'll go ahead and edit that. And then I can go ahead and open my PR, and now it looks like I only had that 30 to begin with. So that's the new hooks functionality where you can integrate GitButler and Cursor. It's pretty easy to just add that hooks.json. You can read it in the GitButler docs, and it should just sort of automatically be version controlling everything that you're working on and writing commit messages and writing branch names and doing everything necessary for that. So hope that was interesting. Later.